In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Good day, everyone. Nestor Licanto here with In Full Zoom, and pleased to welcome our guests this week, Erin Loder and Angel Camacho Paulino from the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Half a day. Thank you for having us, Nestor.
Pleasure to have you. So let me just start off with the general question. You guys are launching a new program training program in September, I believe, called the Elevate. Whoever wants to answer, just tell us a little bit about what that program is and why you guys are going to launch it.
So the Elevate program is something that we're super excited about. We received a grant from GITA that is allowing us to offer this to hopeful business women, and we are super, super excited. It is going to be a little bit more of a lengthy and a time commitment cohort. Excited. So I'll have Angel actually kind of dig a little bit deeper into it for you and give you some more information.
All right, Angel.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Erin. So just adding on, what Erin had mentioned. So this is an 8-week course that's going to be offered at the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. We were awarded a grant through GITA through the QCCC program. So it is run like a cohort. So we are expecting to get about 25 participants. That is our target. And it is scheduled to start September 7th all the way to October 28th. And the way that it's structured really is we do have a 4-pillar setup for the Elevate Entrepreneurship Pathway program. And so it's set up where you do the 8-week training. You also have mentoring that's attached to that. And it is going to be in person. It's going to be at the Women's Business Center at the GWCC, as well as we do provide, the networking, that's going to be extremely valuable for these 25 participants as they really work together with each other from start to finish. So we're really excited for the information that they're going to be able to have as they go through this 8-week course. Again, it's really to help those women who are interested in starting a business venture. And of course, we look at this as women who are, home-based business owners who possibly are looking, maybe just looking for general information about how to get started. Maybe, you might need some financial assistance and you're looking for how do I write a financial plan? How do I look to get seed funding for the business? So part of the training is broken up into 4 parts. The first part is just how to get started. We do cover everything about, all the legal forms of business that women can consider. The second part is about marketing, right? How do you bring your product or your service to the market? So developing a go-to-market strategy. So we've identified several community partners that we can work with. So there's people that we have identified to be our instructors to really help carry this part out. The third part of it is also the financial sustainability factor. And the nice thing about that is GWCC has partnered with Bank of Guam, who is also a generous sponsor for our organization, to take care of this particular phase of the training. So we're really excited about that. So ladies can get information about how to manage your personal credit, how to apply for a commercial loan. There's quite a lot of information, that women would need to consider, especially as you're looking to get some commercial financing. And then, of course, how to build and establish business credit. So we're really excited for that partnership with Bank of Guam. They've been super gracious and providing the staff and the resources that they have to help us, grow this side of the training. And then the last part is how to manage the business. So we're looking at things for how to hire employees, building safety plans, especially too with the pandemic. There's quite a few things that, especially if women are looking to possibly open a brick and mortar space. So we're really providing some of this information that they can gather so they can be properly prepared when they're ready to launch and open their businesses.
Yeah, before we dive deeper into those specific lessons, if you will, I wanted to ask you guys, so what really is kind of like the impetus for this? You see a need out there for women to be able to avail of these additional resources or information?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Nestor.
Go ahead, Angel.
Sorry, I should have said who I was asking, right? Go ahead, Angel, and then we'll go to Erin. Sorry about that.
All right, Nes, no problem. It's okay. So this is really geared towards the women in our community that we see have a need, right, to probably start their business or looking to grow their home-based businesses. During the pandemic, there were several reports, right, that had come out either from the University of Guam or also government of Guam that had done some data, done some surveys, and it looks like women were the hardest hit during the pandemic. So at this point, right, women have challenges with daycare and being able to manage taking care of the kids that they have at home, also their family members, right? We may have some older folks that we're taking care of, our parents, our extended family members that women are in charge of taking charge of the care for them. So at this point, we really felt that this is a response to provide that kind of training to those parts of the needed community within the women who are looking to start their businesses.
In Full Zoom will continue in just a moment.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Okay, Erin, you want to add to that?
Yeah, part of that study also showed, that women-owned small businesses are a lot lesser in Guam. And so we would like to help to continue and push women to show that they can do it. We can provide them the confidence and tools. We can allow them to have access to trainings or even just resources that they may not have had before. And then ultimately, along with that social networking. That person sitting next to them in this cohort has a completely different business than they are trying to start. And believe it or not, there's a lot of similarities despite the differences in their businesses. And so we really want to allow them to just get those connections and kind of see that they have support, not only with the other people that are in this cohort with them, but then obviously all of our instructors, and they have plenty of resources within the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce that can really, really allow them to get that confidence and say, okay, I'm ready to do this.
All right. And we wanted to dive a little bit deeper into each of the topics. So let me ask you, Angel, to talk a little bit more about writing a business plan. Who would be involved in directing that particular lesson, if you will, and what sort of things will be discussed during that?
So that would be the last phase of the overall training, right? And that's basically putting it all together. So GWCC has also partnered with the Guam Small Business Development Center. And for that, we'll be providing, how to write the business plan, how to write a financial plan. And then of course, part of that is also once the women are going through this and developing their plans, they have the ability to work with a business advisor, one-on-one, right? Confidential counseling that they can be able to work with them to guide them through their business plans. So it's a little bit more customized, right, to what they need. And as Erin mentioned, right, not all businesses are created equal. So definitely that's the big value also in working with this is the partnerships that GWCC has with our different community organizations. So, in addition to the Bank of Guam, we also have the Guam Small Business Development Center. We are also partnered with the Guam SHRM. So at this point, it's really awesome to have the availability to reach out to all these different resources in our community and how that can really help these women put together that specific part of the business plan, the financial plan, and, kind of prepare them for launch.
All right, Erin, anything to add on the business plan writing session?
No, I think, in general, that's going to be one of the most important things. Like, honestly, that's probably that and the legality and the finances, all of that. We just really want people to be able to sit down and say, oh my gosh, I can do this. This is how to do it. And sometimes having that little hand holding is going to be able to provide all the confidence they need. And so that business plan that's the part that I'm most excited about.
Yeah, everybody could use a little push, especially if, it might be their first time at entrepreneurship. Erin, let me ask you about another session, funding sources. Who's going to be involved in that, and what's that going to be about?
So for the funding sources, I might actually pass this one off to Angel one more time. I am the project coordinator for this, and so we're still kind of pulling in speakers. And for that one, again, I'm just going to let Angel speak a little bit more in depth onto that one.
Sure, Angel.
No problem. So the financial sustainability phase, that's where we've partnered with Bank of Guam, and there's basically 3 different classes that we're going to be offering. And for that, the first is get your credit on point. So it's really understanding what credit is, why it's important, and especially how that's going to be helpful for those who are looking to build business credit. How valuable your personal credit is too, and looking at how the how banks, make these decisions based on, your personal credit, as well as all the different ways that you are managing the credit, right? And tips to enhance basically your credit game. The second is also deep diving into funding options. So here we're going to look at some of the loan options that the bank has available for small businesses. So as we see, right, during the pandemic, right, SBA came out with several funding programs for relief programs for small businesses. But there's also other loan programs that are available, like the SBA 7A loans, the Export Express, right, things like that, that still you have to go through a financial institution to be able to apply for that, to avail of the SBA loan guarantee programs. The third is how to drive your ROI, right? Looking at how to forecast and how to break even. So things like that are going to be very important in the business, especially as you look at your future sales, right? How do you need to cover all your recurring monthly expenses? So things like that. Definitely business owners, when we look at it, at least on the SBDC standpoint, when we help out existing and new business owners, right, the financial side, it can be a bit challenging, especially for even those experienced entrepreneurs. And it's really because, we're looking at how to manage money, how to, maintain good cash flow. And so looking at that at the perspective of, having the lender there and a financial institution to really be able to guide us in making those decisions is going to be key, especially for business owners, whether you're experienced or starting up, to kind of look at what those options they have, especially as they get started or they're looking to grow.
Still more in full Zoom ahead. Please stay with us.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Yeah. How to cover my monthly overhead that's led to many a sleepless night for our entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
And something that our particular industry, the media industry, might be involved in is the branding and marketing. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're really
sure.
excited about that. We actually had a little sessions back in the beginning of July for part of our Level Up program, and kind of seeing we had 4 or 5 like attendees that were coming every week, and seeing the light bulbs for them of this whole marketing series. We're going to kind of go into a little bit more deeper of a dive for the Elevate program, but I am so excited to kind of elaborate a little bit more into these marketing programs for our Elevate people. A big thing is how do you know who's your target audience? For some, they may think, oh, my target audience is only, Gen Z, and they're only using Instagram and TikTok, but may not realize that there's other social media networks out there like LinkedIn or Twitter or Pinterest even, that people don't realize or are not quite as familiar with. And so learning just different ticks, why data and analytics might be important. So I'll have Angel speak a little bit more onto that one too, but this one is who realizes that marketing is so important, because if you're only targeting just this one little thing, the whole world may open up by having a little bit more of an in-depth, experience or detail or eye opener for marketing. So Angel, go ahead and speak a little bit more in depth on that one.
Yeah, Angel, talk a little bit more about branding and marketing, because historically, I think a lot of businesses kind of look at branding and marketing as the first thing to cut when things get tough. But actually, there were those in the media industry who would say, no, that's where you need to really put more money when things get tough, is in your branding and marketing. So talk about a little bit about the session for branding and marketing, Angel.
Yeah, so for sure, that is very true, Nestor. When we're looking at, what are some of the recurring costs we want to cut, it's always marketing, right? Marketing is usually the top three that they try to cut. So, yes, absolutely, right? Trying to stand out, especially when there's a load of competitors that are around you. So absolutely setting having your own brand message be consistent is going to be key. And I think too that knowing who exactly you're trying to target, right? Your target customers. And I think too, it's really dwindling it down. And some of the things that we've noticed with some of the participants is usually they start out with, oh, my product is for everyone. But really, when you look at it and you start to observe more deeply as to what the behaviors are, you actually start to see that actually my niche is really here. And developing that. So that helps once they've identified that special niche, that helps them to really hone in on what the message is. And it makes it a lot easier for them to develop specific promotions, whether it's the loyalty programs, because they're really now able to understand how that customer is making these purchase decisions. What are some things that are very important to them, especially as they go through different parts of their buyer's journey. And one of that is going to also be very key and important because marketing isn't just on the side of, hey, my product's ready to go. I'm going to, now announce it. Hopefully people are going to come and buy. Marketing is a cycle when we look at it really, and it's a pre-launch, right? What kinds of things are you doing before you launch, right? How do you build the hype? How do you get people excited? And then moving on into during the launch phase when your store opens up or your e-commerce store opens up, you're ready to go. How do you continue to get customers to come and visit the store? And then of course, on the other side of it is either you're wrapping up a marketing campaign and you want to see, what were some of the lessons learned from that and things that went really, really well, because you absolutely want to repeat that. And things that we definitely like to assist entrepreneurs is if it's working, keep doing that. If it's not working, those are some things that you can be able to cut or, make some tweaks, right? And we all know that in marketing, especially in branding and messaging, it's a give of, experimenting, some things that work and some things that don't. So it's really going in and looking at developing that marketing strategy and making the adjustments and changes as you go. So we are going through that in the market. This is a 4-part class. It's a market truths, marketing stratosphere, building the brand, and then, of course, the different marketing channels, right? So we look at digital as well as traditional marketing channels and how that really helps some of the brands and local companies here on island.
Yeah, and we have no shortage of marketing pros here on Guam, so I'm sure you're going to be able to recruit some to help you out on these sessions, correct?
Oh, yes, absolutely, Nestor. We've already reached out to several of our folks in the community as well as in our membership who, can definitely be able to provide more insights into marketing, but also be able to provide services. So we're really excited about that, to be able to give some women the options, not only to learn from those experts who are actually doing it, but also to have the ability to, if they're ready to go and ready to launch, they have options to choose from.
And one last session I wanted to talk more about was the financial sustainability. I think you might have mentioned a little bit about that, and I think a team from the Bank of Guam will be involved in that. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So with our partnership with Bank of Guam, they're going to have 3 classes that they're going to lead on the financial sustainability side. So one of the things that we get with several of our entrepreneurs, especially as they're looking to apply for commercial funding, there's some confusion, right, that it's based on the credit of the business. But if it's for startup, it's still based on your personal credit, right? And those other principal owners, right, partners that you have in the business, it stems from that. And then you build the credit for the business as you go. So it's going to be really valuable to have Bank of Guam, or at least from a lender's perspective, walk us through some of those challenges and then ways to repair that, things that you can work towards so that you can put yourself in a better position to look at all the different funding options that you have. So when we look at at least the importance of managing credit, right? Because it's also not just on financing, right? On commercial loan financing. It's also on if you get a line of credit, right? There's some business owners that have business credit cards and things like that. So for sure, there's different options and things to consider, especially when we look at what is the percentage, right, of things that start to affect your credit score. And what does that mean in looking at the credit report? How does that, develop into the decisions that are made? But then also too, it's looking at the business in a holistic perspective, right? Oftentimes when we go to the bank, it's just, okay, we fill out the application, but there's a lot more to it. And filling out the commercial loan application can take a lot of time, right, in preparation.
Yeah, sure.
So we want to put our entrepreneurs in a really good position to prepare them, so they're aware of, what needs to be done before they get to the bank. But then also, it's also establishing that good relationship with the bankers. I think oftentimes, we just look to the bank, like, hey, we need money, we need this, but there's so many other services that the bank, right, through merchant services that they can provide, that I think is, you're really going to be looking at your banker as your partner. Like, hey, something happens, you can't make your loan payments, who do you call? Your banker, right? These kinds of things are important to establish a good relationship with your banker. And we call this in business, we call them the bail team, right? It's B stands for banker, A is your attorney, I is your insurance agent, and L is your lawyer, right? So, or I'm sorry, the A is the accountant, L is your lawyer. So those are key things, right, to run the back end of the business and to keep it going. So, your banker is part of your bail team. So definitely you want to keep and maintain that relationship with them.
We're going to take a short break. Please come back.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information. In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.
Yeah, financial sustainability, very important, because I think you've seen the statistics about how businesses typically are undercapitalized when they get started. And so the bank and looking forward and seeing all those numbers is very important. So I want to ask you guys about, you mentioned it, this is an opportunity for aspiring entrepreneurs, but also a chance to network with those who've been around a little bit longer. So talk a little bit more about the networking opportunities during this these several weeks that these sessions will be in place. Go ahead, Erin.
Okay. So the people that are going to be around, obviously, are the people that are going to be our instructors for each specific session. So again, we'll have people from Bank of Guam. We have people like Angel, SBDC. We'll have counterparts, all professionals in all of these, each specific small little, parts of business. And we're going to have them coming in and doing one-on-one work with these attendees. And that alone is amazing to get to learn from the best on the island. And then, having that network, them at the end, they're going to provide contact information. Having those people in your back pocket too for questions is super important. And then also knowing one person, you can start to meet 3 more people that person knows in order to help your business. And so networking is huge in all businesses of all forms. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is. Even if you work at McDonald's, knowing all of these people and getting your name out there and just meeting people and being around them and not being scared to ask questions to these people that are good and talented at what they're doing. And that, again, builds confidence, and that will build relationships that you never really knew that you needed. So we're really, really excited about the networking part of it too.
Yeah, you never know how much benefit you're going to derive from just some person that you met just in your regular networking. Absolutely. Angel, your thoughts on that, the networking aspect of these sessions?
Oh, absolutely. The industry advisors are going to also be key, and there's actually 3 working sessions that we have. I think it's October 26th through the 28th that we're going to have those working sessions. And basically the participants, right, can be able to sign up with anybody that they need. If it's a bookkeeper that they need additional advice on, maybe a tax preparer. So we're looking at, getting some of these industry advisors that can provide, some type of, advice to these folks, whether it's in 30-minute to an hour sessions. that they can come in, and if they have further questions, they can be able to, you know, have an open conversation and feel comfortable knowing that they're not in front of everybody, but now having that one-on-one that they can have with an industry advisor. So there's different areas that we're looking at. We also, one of the classes is legal forms of business. And so for that, we do have a attorney that we are working with as the instructor. So between that and also leaning into the Guam SBDC too, we also have other the business advisors as well as industry advisors who are independent contractors who can also provide specialty advice. One of the courses are going to be actually with Department of Labor, and that's actually looking at the safety and health plans of businesses as they look to get started. And so for that, like we've reached out to one of the main safety project manager at Department of Labor here, Mr. Jesse Pangilinan, who's, I just gave it away, but he's going to be one of our instructors for that. So we're really excited, I think, you know, in getting towards the key partners that, you know exactly what the specialty areas are, especially if we're leaning into, you know, what are the exact questions for employment law, especially for those who are looking to hire employees. So we are looking to partner with some of our community partners such as Guam SHRM to possibly, you know, lead that class. And so for that, we all know that those folks they have many years of experience in HR, and it's going to be really key, especially for those who are looking, okay, am I hiring part-time? Am I hiring full-time? What are some of the requirements that I need to know? Taxes especially are always key. So having that one-on-one with the industry advisor, and at this point, participants can be able to sign up in advance for those people that they want to have one-on-ones with.
All right. Erin, how do they sign up and where can they find more information?
You can find more information and sign up at guamwomenschamber.com. If you have any issues with doing it online, you can also call us at 671-646-3246, or you can email me at events@guamwomenschamber.com. We do only have 25 slots, so they are limited and they're going to quickly fill, especially, you know, this is a huge opportunity. This is great for Guam. This is great for the women in business and great for new entrepreneurs. So we do encourage people to try to rush and apply and register so that we can get them counted into our head count and get the ball rolling on materials and getting them all ready so that we can see them on September 7th. But if there are any questions, again, events@guamwomenschamber.com.
All right, Angel, we'll close out with you. Your final pitch to get people women to sign up for this.
Awesome. We are calling all women entrepreneurs, or those who are aspiring. If you have a great idea and don't know how to start the business, this is a great chance for you to do it. 8 weeks is all we're asking from you, 2 days a week. We can definitely be able to work with you. If you have any specific questions about your business, this is a great opportune time to be able to partner with us and look at all the different resource partners that are available to you. And this is a cohort that is free. So we encourage you to come in, build your network, and let's get things moving, Guam. Come on, ladies, sign up with us today for the Elevate Entrepreneurship Program. Thank you so much.
All right, well said. Angel Camacho Paulino and Erin Loder of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. I'm Nestor Licanto. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you again next week on In Full Zoom.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.